By the time I'd gotten to the hospital, I was in congestive heart failure.
Did I think I was going to lose her? Yes.
I remember thinking, dear God, I have small kids. You know, I have these 2 little babies at home. Please do not let me die. Don't let me die. Don't let me die.
She was diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism, is what it's medically called.
And I knew very clearly that I was dying.
You know the cliche saying not to judge a book by its cover? MHS teacher Lori Roth speaks out about her life-changing past that's not on the cover of her book.
All of a sudden, besides the hot feeling, as soon as I reached to open that garage door, I felt something move from my lower leg up the left side of my body. And then it was just very much a crushing pain in my chest, and I couldn't breathe. Like, it was instantaneous that I couldn't breathe, and I remember that. And then I remember everything just going black.
She was rapidly going downhill and becoming unconscious.
I got a phone call from Josh, and he was saying that they were on their way to the emergency room.
When I stepped in the garage, saw what was going on, kind of figured out what it was. From that point until we got to the hospital, I thought there was a chance that, yeah, she might not make it through.
And they took me into the trauma room and very quickly assessed the situation, had a whole bunch of tests in a very quick succession, because I guess when you have a clot like this, the window is very small.
And then the next thing I know, she's in the ICU at Westchester. How does someone our age have a pulmonary embolism? How does that happen? She was fine. How is this a clot?
June 2nd, 2010, the date of the incident, may have been the beginning of summer for most, but for Lori Roth, it has become an unforgettable day.
The first year was really tough that June 2nd rolled around. It got a little easier last year, but every spring, you know, if I get a little twinge in my leg or my leg starts to swell up, because it still does that, you know, I think, and I'm right back there with it happening again. It's kind of like a record that plays itself over and over and over again. And sure, there's some post-traumatic stress syndrome, because it was traumatic. I think a lot of people would look at me probably and think, oh, you know, she's fine. But sometimes those kind of wounds you can't see in people, and I think there's a lot of those things at Mason High School. A lot of people who carry along wounds on the inside that we don't see. You know, I ride an elevator, and I'm sure that people go, what's wrong with her? She doesn't have crutches. Well, you're right. I have half a lung, and I have heart damage.
What she has to do is long term. It's not just, oh, I have to eat a restricted diet for, you know, about 6 weeks and then I'll be back to normal. No, that restricted diet is forever. Like, not using the stairs, that's forever. Not really being able, like, she can't exert herself. That's forever.
Now, I always make jokes so everyone stays calm and doesn't get stressed out. So my nickname for her was Dead Woman Walking.
You know, be aware when you look at people. Maybe it's not all they seem. I'm Roth of Roth's World, but there's a lot more to it than just that, too.
While Lori Roth may seem like she lives a life full of bliss, she's able to prove that there is always more to a person than what meets the eye. I'm Namisha Rakesia, NBC News.